Okay, good afternoon all. Hope everyone is well. So, let's have a look. So, Karina, good morning to you. Exponential, how you doing? Daryl, how you doing? Okay. Different day yesterday. I actually found it quite odd. I've been streaming and trading that way for so long now. I kind of feel odd without it. So I was just chatting with my wife last night. What should I do? Should I, just continue to leave it as it is? Just continue to stream the way I do? Does it really affect me? And she said, well, you like to talk. You kind of talk your problems out. And I've said before, I kind of think out aloud. It just kind of works for me. So I traded later, lost the trade, ended up being about $220 down yesterday. So it didn't seem to make a difference that I was trading by myself. So I think I'm probably just going to continue to stream as normal, I think. And then we can sort of compare charts. You missed hearing your voice. I missed having that sort of connection. It wasn't quite the same. It wasn't quite the same on a Discord. It just seemed like there was something missing. So perhaps it does work for me. Who knows? I've done it for so long now. I kind of felt naked without it. So I think I'm probably just going to continue to just do it the way I've always done it. Certainly for the last, it's been nearly 2.5 years now since I started streaming. So it does feel weird without, because as I've said before, I talk out aloud, I think out aloud, and that's how it works for me. Even if I'm, sometimes I'll be walking down the street, and if there's something on my mind, I'll talk out aloud. I'll get some strange looks, but it kind of works for me. So maybe it's just, I don't know. When you start making money, Lance, how you doing, buddy? Seems weird saying that name. I think I'm just going through a little bit of a tough spell. There are times where trading is a bit harder, charts are a bit difficult, and so on and so forth. So perhaps I'm, blaming that on, streaming. And I don't really think it is. I've had sort of plenty of success this year with streaming, but I took a riskier trade yesterday that I don't think I'd have taken had I had people watching me. So you do bad things. Yeah, it's a bad thing that you can't kind of do it without people. Perhaps it's just the way things are sometimes. So I'm just going to continue to trade as normal. And then we can, often people are trying to explain charts to me. But at least now we've got the Discord that you can pop a chart on and show me if I'm if you're trying to explain something to me. Sean, are you still using indicator tick counter on your 8 tick range? No, mate, because I'm going to tell you what you already know. It comes up there and says it doesn't work, does it? So what I'm doing is I've got that software, bar size counter, that one there. In fact, I was chatting with Marco yesterday. I sent it to him. Well, I told him where to get it. So you can see where it's Mac. I've got it disabled somewhere wherever it is, and I use that for me bar size counter. And you can get that from ticktech.com. It's free. So the trouble is, Marco was saying to me he doesn't know when the bar was going to finish. So I know now that current bar I'm looking at is 9 ticks. When it hits 10 ticks, it's got to either go up 1 tick or come down tick from the high or the low and then jumped into a new bar. Another thing I didn't notice on here, you don't get dojis. The only types of dojis you get is where price finishes either on its high or on its low. You don't get like what they call them shooting stars or whatever, because price only moves when a bar finishes. So it's either got to break above it or below it. It can't stop in the middle of it and then move over. So I did, as you can see, I did take a trade here this morning. Triple test, clear as day. Worked beautifully. So I've got VWAP on here. Just out of curiosity, we had 2 legs up there. There was a second entry short which triggered and stopped out, and then we had that. And I left that alone because I thought if it was going to come down, it probably would have done it there. Then we had a lower high, and I was very tempted to get into a lower high there, but I have that little saying in my head, don't diddle in the middle. And it is kind of rangy, so I thought that was probably high enough as we only just got past the middle to push down for the leg, and it did. But as I'd already taken a trade, I'm just trading one of my accounts on this for now. I don't want to trade everything, I don't think. I don't see why it makes a difference. It's clear. It doesn't really look. It's not really going to give us any surprises at all. So maybe, hey Tony, how you doing? It's strange. Yes, I'm going to continue to stream, but as normal. It seemed weird for me, to be honest with you. I know sometimes I'll come back later in the day. Well, that's okay. I can still do that. But it seemed weird for me. I just felt a bit lost, I did. I'm a talker. I like to talk out my problems. If something's on my mind and I'm trying to work something out, I don't know. If I think about it in my head, I don't tend to hear it as well as if I speak. If I speak it, it tends to go in there. Just some people are like that. Some people are more, you know, some people are more verbal. Some people are more visual. Some people can sit there quietly and let it all go in the background. I'm a talker. It's how I kind of figure things out. So I'm going to continue to stream as I normally do. Anyway, we have a Discord. That's what I mean. Yeah, see, I've got it in front of me now. So the beauty is, at least then, I know some of you guys trying to explain your charts to me, and you know, if you've seen something I've missed, you've kind of got the benefits of looking at my chart, so you've got your own and you've got mine to compare, but I haven't really. Well, I can look at maybe Dan's or something, but Dan doesn't post them as much. So I'm just going to keep things the way they are. I had to talk to my wife about it, and she said, I'll stick to it. You know, we have ups and down months, you know. Some months are better than others. Let's have a look. It's not been a bad month this month. Last month was quiet. April. March was my best month. February wasn't too bad. January was good. So, you know, we have ups and downs. So I'm just going to continue to stream as normal. It did feel weird. And at least now, how you doing, Jan? Thanks to Jan. We've got this Discord now. At least then when we can, it's more for charts, I think, the Discord. It's ideal. So I'm just going to continue to do things the way I normally done them. It's worked up until now, I suppose. Why change it? The trouble is, what I've found is with me, whenever I have a rocky spell, I kind of look for a reason why or something to blame. And you know, there's a bunch of traders. That Asian trader from Dubai I follow, I forget his name now. He's a really nice guy, and he said sometimes he'll have a red month. And I'm thinking, we never kind of get red months really the way we trade, but you know, I've just got to come to realise that sometimes, you know, trading's difficult. It's not all going to be, you know, champagne and Skittles. You know, sometimes, you know, you have great months, other times not so much. So I think I'm just going to have to just accept the fact that, you know, whenever things go right, I feel on top of the world. When things go wrong, I kind of want to trade. Maybe I should change contract size. Maybe I should trade Penguin. Maybe I should try something different. I kind of look for a reason why things might not be working so well. And I think really I've just got to accept the fact that not every month is going to be good. You know, we're going to have slow months. Fortunately, we're in month 5 and I've earned money every month. That's the first time I've ever done that. So, you know, I think what I do need to do is cut back the amount of evaluations I do, because I've been throwing stuff away. I mean, I think out of that, so I've spent $1,000 so far. We're only just past half the month. There's only about 3 PAs there that I took risks on and lost. The rest are just evaluations. I'm throwing away too many. I think what I need to do is set myself a budget. of maybe, I don't know, 400, 300, maybe 10 evaluations a month, and if I can pass a few of them. But I trade those aggressively as well. The trouble is, trading them with 10 contracts, you can blow an account just within one bar. So I'm just going to keep things as they are and not necessarily look for excuses as to why I haven't had as good a month as the previous month or the previous month before that. Normally we have all the same issues anyway. Micros, playing with style is good. Yeah, I'm looking at both. What I will say is, I think Dan sent me a message. I had a chat with Dan yesterday. And he said to me, best advice I can give you. Let me have a look. It's something I know I do. Best advice I can give you is when you're taking trades, only trades that are premeditated, meaning every trade you take, you're not taking on a whim. And I do that sometimes, or waiting for the market to go where you expect and to form a setup that you expect to make. Sometimes I think, oh, this looks like it's going up, and I've jumped in the past. So, you know, if I'm looking for a triple test, I can have my order, and if it comes to where it does take a trade, sometimes I go, oh, I like that, and jump in. I've got to try and not do that. That's more on a whim and not premeditated. So I think I just need to just get a bit better with my setups, because when you've had 5, 6, 7, 8 winning trades in a row and you've just had a payment and you feel on top of the world, it's a great feeling. And then all of a sudden you get a couple of losses back to back and something changes mentally, doesn't it? It's like, what's going on? Why am I losing? And you kind of go to an odd place. But I will say, whenever I blow an account now, and to be honest with you, the only ones I really blow now are new ones that I take a stupid risk trying to give them a boost. These other accounts, I've got 3 accounts that I've had over 70 days, which, taking out the days I haven't traded, that's probably 3 months. So I am managing to hold on to them, because when they've got money in them, I am valuing them a bit more. You know, if I pay $130 for a PA account and a new one with 0 money in it, if I take a risk and get $800 in, technically I've 6x my risk. The trouble is, it's all good and well doing that, but it's either I make that money or I blow the account, and that's a habit I need to get out of. The good bit is that I am valuing the accounts when there's money in them. In other words, when I've got money to lose, that's when I kind of think about the value a little bit more. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, it does help. Marco said to me yesterday, how do I know when the bar's finished? Now, if that bar now goes to 10 ticks, like it is now, as soon as it breaks a tick above or tick below the next bar, so if that bar is showing 10 ticks, you can actually drop your order in there, because you know if it breaks down, you know what I mean? So it's quite vital that if you're trading range bars. I got to say, I mentioned to Dan about this, and he said he tried it once, a friend, and he didn't like it. So I don't. Maybe it's not for everybody. It depends what types of trades you take. I think Marco told me once, Dan based a lot of his trades on rejection. So, but if you look at this now, there's a triple test there. That one I put as a green bar. It's a bit congested there, but that one, not only was it a triple test, we got 2 clear legs up. So I really like that one. There is a lower high there. I left that specifically because we had a second entry short which triggered and got stopped out. But price did go up. I have got VWAP on here now, because if I'm looking for a short here and it seems to be rejecting off VWAP, that's probably a plus. That there's more of a chance it might work. But I've got to say, I've looked at these charts now for about the last 4 days in a row, and I see more clearer setups on this than the standard ES chart. So, you know, I know sometimes when something seems a bit too good to be true, it is, but you know, I did I watched a bunch of videos about range charts, and a lot of people said it does clear the mess up sometimes. So at the end of the day, if you look at, if you've been price action trading for a while now, you know generally how price works. We know what it looks like. We know what a triple test is. So, price moves how it moves. So we can more or less adapt what we know, to multiple different ways to trade, really. The traders more or less trade the same sort of way within reason. Pullback traders, whatever you want to call them. That's kind of what we are. I mean, this chart up here, let's try 3 times to push up. It's a good place to short, and it worked. We've been up to VWAP. We couldn't really get above it there. We were flickering up and down, and it came down, and it tested it again. We pushed up, got close to it. We're ranging it. We're just ranging at the moment. But I've got this on here just as a little extra. I know Mac will say that you don't need anything else on the. He was saying yesterday before, you don't need a 10,000 tick chart, blah blah blah. I think as an inexperienced trader, Mac doesn't, because Mac's been trading this for so long. When you've been doing a job 20 odd years, you know it inside out and back to front. You don't need anything. But when you're an experienced trader, sometimes just having it there and looking at the bigger picture, just telling you what you're pretty sure that's happening, it's just that little comfort blanket. I don't think it's a problem. If it helps you, I'd say use it. There's no harm in looking at the bigger picture. But if it gives you that little bit of comfort getting into a trade, if like this, if I was looking for a short there and it bounced off VWAP and we were struggling to get above it, that's more of a reason to short it. So, any little thing that may help you feel better about taking a trade, I don't think there's a problem. Your bars on the S look different compared to mine. These here, yeah? Disco, how you doing, buddy? Just have you reloaded yours? Because I reloaded mine. Does anybody else's look different than mine? I like 10,000 to see the channel, but I don't think it's a problem. I think if it helps you, then use it. I know Mac's been doing things the way he does it for so long. He doesn't know any different, and he does it the way he does it, and it works for him. So, if he's been trading successfully for 20 odd years, 25 plus years, there's no need for him to put a 10,000 tick chart. But those of us who haven't been doing that long, I've been trading price action now a little over 4 years, so I'm still relatively new to it. And, we all suffer sometimes with confidence issues, especially when you take a loss or two. And but it does get better, I think. So if that's a channel there, we've had a break of it and a new low. There is a triple test there, but would I want to go long there? Not at the moment. Not at the moment. Because I'm not too sure, because would I want to go short on this range chart at the moment? I don't know, maybe. There is a second entry short. Is this coming down for a channel? I don't know. It's just because it is ranging, we're right at the bottom. I mean, it is a triple test, but price is under that EMA. So, I mean, look at that. That's not what you want to see, trigger and come down. So, at the moment, it's just a little bit unclear as to what's going on. Also, as well, I've been looking back on some of my older videos. Since I went down to one contract, I've been taking more trades, and I don't think it's helping me. So, I've gone back to 2 contracts. Now, as long as the ATR is at around 4 or under, I'm okay to do that. When it gets higher, I can take a $400 loss now. But the beauty about taking 2 contracts is I can take less trades. I haven't got to worry about making money. If you can take 2 solid trades a week for 3 points, there's $600 a week. So I was looking back at loads of my old videos and looking at how many trades I took in a day, and I took less trades. And it was only kind of March I started moving over to 1 contract, and the main reason I did is because the ATR, it just went crazy. It was 6, 8, 12. It just went mad. So, Sean, Do yours still look different to mine? Does anybody's 2000 tick chart look different than mine that I got here? Yeah, another reason not to go long there, because this looks like it's moving down. So if you'd have gone long there and in a range triple test, but it's clearly price is moving down at the moment. Yours are the same as mine, are they, Yan? Yeah, or different? Same or different? So we got a leg down. I did look at this earlier on this chart. We got a leg down and it looked like a correction. And this looks like we may be having a second leg down. They're different. Let me have a look. That might be the problem. I swap and change my charts around. Okay. Selected. Okay, that should sort them out. And reload. They are, Sean. That should look a bit better, buddy. So now that looks better, is it? Yeah, no worries. No worries, mate. So let's just zoom out here and see if we can kind of look at the bigger picture. We are generally still bullish at the moment, aren't we? The trouble is, if you look at the daily, this thing could take a big drop. Let me just connect these lows. We push up strong, we pull back, we push up strong, we pull back, we push up strong. I wouldn't be surprised if we came down for this measured move and possibly even a bit lower. Why won't that move? Why won't you move? Oh, there we go. So let's have a look at that. Come on, don't freak me out. Okay, so generally, price does look like it's moving in that area, and we have just come off the tops. You know, you've got to pay attention to that thing. I know Mac doesn't, but if I was scalping for a point, I probably wouldn't pay too much attention. So big drop there at the highs. Not so much of, we had a strong push up, but then we went sideways and we just chopped and then we dropped back. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had generally a bearish day today. We have come off the tops. That's what it looks like to me. So I think there's a good chance we come down to these lows. We'll see. See, there is a breakout pullback on that 10 bar range. We broke out. Maybe some buyers there ticked above it and bearish trades already done now. But I prefer it if it's close to that EMA, and it's not one of my strong points. I go for 3 points. So it would have to literally... Okay, that would have worked. There's going to be traders trading that back into the range, but although it is rangy, this to me is bearish. So it looks like we've had a channel with a break and a new low, 2 attempts to push up, a correction, and then we start to slowly trend down. So that would have worked for 3 points, breakout, pullback. I tend to avoid those just in case. Trading back into a range or failed breakouts of ranges, I've not done a lot of, so I tend to avoid them. It's not one of my stronger points. So I tend to avoid them. So let's have a look at this now. 2 attempts to push higher. Wow, look at that. Another reason not to take that. One, it's too far for the EMA. Two, you never know what's going to happen here, and that's strongly pushed back into that range. Sam, how you doing, buddy? You trading micros or minis? Minis, mate. Minis. And tried to enter long on that as a short got trapped, something low, but it took off. Yeah, I tend to not do much of that. It's not one of my strongest setups trading these back in. It is rangy, but this, after kind of a correction, it does look like it's slowly grinding down, so you never quite know. But I certainly think there'd be a good chance it would at least test this. See, I know on Dan's channel earlier, he posted the daily, and it did look like we could get a big drop. This one there. So look at that big bullish bar off. We're right at the top of these. I'm not sure what days these are, but we're right above there, and we've ticked above it. So, I mean, this was a while ago, so we're a bit lower now. We certainly could come and break below there. We've kind of had two legs up, so I mean, it's been quite a strong couple of weeks. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a bit of a pullback here, because as I say, I'm not sure what day that is. I'm sure they cover the old caboodle, but it does look like we could get a very bearish day today. And when I look at this, we've come off the tops. Last time we were off the tops, we had a big drop. Close to the tops there, but then we're sort of chopping down. I mean, it was a big drop, but it was slow and sideways, and then with a quick drop. That's come down quite sharp. So I wouldn't be surprised if that continues down. So looking at the daily and looking at the sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the last 6 days, including today, this does look slightly more bearish to me. But you never quite know, do you? So there you go. And looking at the range bar again, we've gone straight up to VWAP and then dropped a little bit. So we've got a channel there. So who knows? It's kind of nice to have both charts on, actually. I'm just trading this just on one account. I want some confidence in it first before I start trading, but it's certainly more clearer than this. I mean, just if you put these side by side now, let me just make this a bit smaller. Just to this area here, after this initial push down, this bit here where we got this triple test, that's about there. It's just nothing there, is there? There's no setup there at all, but there's a triple test there. So it is clearer, I think. But we'll see. See how it goes. I mean, I'm trading one account. If I get some good success with it, then I may continue over. Yeah. Okay. Let me have a little look here. Not sure. So we pushed in and we've dropped out. Let's see if we can get a lower high or something. Or a failure, rather.
Order filled.
Okay. Just taking a trade on this range bar here. Channel down there with a break. It is kind of a failure. I won't want to trade that. I think that is more likely to get trapped. We'll see. Don't bounce there. No, I don't want you to do that. No, come down quick. There is a lower high possibly here. Let's just shove out of the way a bit. Came down, bounced off to the tick. Oh, it's going to be second legs up in it. What's your what? What is your range chart size for the NQ? Not trading the NQ at the moment, bud.
Target filled.
Lost that one. Oh well. I'll move me stop up to the next swing. It's going to come bloody down now, I bet you. Trade's over, mate. It's done. I'm out. A loss. It was just on the range chart. It's not super clear, is it now? No, still got Guardian Angel on, but it's set to 2 losses. 2 losses in a row. Can't get into it at the moment. It's locked. Can't get into it at the moment. It's locked. Yeah, it's set to 2 losses in a row.
Order filled.
Okay, I'll bring this one in. Second entry short.
Target filled.
Beautiful. Okay, so that's got me back in the green now. That's what I was kind of hoping for. Yeah, if you look at these tops, every time we kind of get up here, bearish close to it, bearish close to it, bearish close to it, bearish close to it, it drops off. It's just much clearer than this. It's so hard to read this, but we've had a push in. This could be 2 attempts to go lower and a push up. It's hard to say at the moment. There is kind of a lower high on this other chart, and there is a bunch of liquidity. Just look at this range bar. Look at that. There's going to be liquidity there and there. You can guess 2 bounces off there. So channel down with the break. There's a bullish bar there. If that breaks below there, so tempted.
Order filled.
If it gets below there, there's going to be a ton of liquidity there. Let's get out of this. I'm trading a bit silly here. It's right tight below that EMA. No, it's going to stop me out, isn't it, for sure? It gets below there. I want to get out of this.
Target filled.
Let's get out of it for break even. Oh, now it's going to go, look. It is only a first entry. You can't really say it's a lower high. It's got a bit too far. Now it's worked. That's what I was just going to... I wanted to just take those levels out there, and it did in the end. I shouldn't have really got into it because it is... you may say it's a lower high. I got out of it for break even. Yeah, it's doing what I... See, when you're in trading a while, sometimes you just think this is going to go down, and maybe you get into it. Is it a good idea? If you get into it and you accept it, yeah. But I don't know, I shouldn't really. It's so hard to read this, isn't it? Difficult area to trade. Clearly bearish pressure. Yeah, it's just looking like it's coming down, and I think that's influencing me. I got out for break even anyway. I just didn't want to chance my luck, and then it did what I expected it to do. It's that close. See, it's that close to these levels here. A bearish bar. Now, normally you may say it's a lower high. It's sometimes Mac will say it is. Sometimes he won't. But you've got a bullish bar off there, and I didn't mind it because it's tight on that EMA. All I wanted to do was break those lows. I put it a tick below there, and that would have given me, I think it was 175. When it nearly comes back, you're just thinking, okay, if I get a break even, I'll leave it. But it just had that quick pop, which I expected. It's looking bearish to me. We got a leg down with a correction, and every time we come up here, it's pushing down. The trouble is, because I'm just trading the one account on here, I'm taking slightly more riskier trades. 10 range. Purely and simply because I go for 3 points of profit, and with 10 bar range, tick above, tick below, be 3 points. So it'd be a 3 point risk and a 3 point profit. So it's 1 to 1. So all I got to do is win more than I lose, and I should be profitable on that. So it was just kind of a good number, really, and that makes the ATR, if you look, where do we kind of really like the ATR? Around about the 2.5. Well, because it's 2.5 points, that makes the ATR exactly 2.5. So it just keeps the ATR perfectly stable, and I'd go for 3 points on there, and I know my risk is only going to be 3 points, so it's always going to be a 1-to-1 risk for me. And that's kind of why I like it. So that's why I went with the 10. It just kind of fitted in. Yeah, Marco was just saying earlier that range bars work much better in a trending market when it's trending up. It's much clearer. Sometimes when it's like this, it's not as easy. Having said that, I mean, look how nice that triple test was. And not only that, we come off the bottom. It's clearly 2 legs up. Beautiful triple test, and it worked quickly. So what I find, there's one there, maybe a bit congested there, but then we break and push up again. So it's, it's clearly 2 attempts to go higher, and that worked as well. So, if I can find 2 setups on here a day, I'd be pleased. You may argue there's another triple test. We pushed down, we went up once, twice, 3 times, and then pushed down again. So, just looking at it over the last week, it looks better to me than the standard ES, but it is early days yet. There's no magic bullet, but I'm seeing there's not a trade on here that I really would have taken. It's all too wicky and too congested. But you can read this range chart. You can read it. You can clearly see there's triple test there. It's a bit congested here, but you may say triple test there. Clearly worked. Is it high enough? It's hard to say. So second entry long failure there. We got a channel up with a break and a new high, lower high. Second entry long, triggers comes down. You know that's going to fail, and that failed. So that's not a bad trade either. I didn't even notice that one. So that's okay. Failure. We had 2 attempts to push up. I took that one. Or did I take that one? Oh no, I'm thinking here, aren't I? That did work in the end, but every time we're getting close up here, it's dropping again. So I just need to be a little bit less premature and a little bit more patient on those. Yeah, I really missed the stream yesterday. It was quite weird being in the room by myself. Weird. Yeah, see, there's another tempting looking set in there, but the trouble is, this has got a habit of trapping these and pushing up close to VWAP. So, although it is a second entry short, when it's ranging, it's a little bit more tricky when it's ranging. Yeah, it's looking like it's going to get stopped out there. It is a second entry short. The trouble is, if you look at these side by side, it's certainly clearer. It's less congested. But look at that. See, it's pushing close to this and then falling. So taking that, it's just too far away from the top, isn't it, really? And not just that, we've had a channel break at a new low. So what I will say is there's going to be some liquidity there. But I'm just going to stay out of this. It's definitely much clearer than this. You've still got to pick your points. But look how congested this is. Touch, maybe something like that. Who knows? Hey, Speedy, how you doing, buddy? I missed the craziness. 2 legs back, really thought that would produce a fail. Second entry short. There actually is one on the range bar here. Second entry short, triggered. Did work. It's just so messy, this. Yeah, see, that would have worked. Nice second entry short. There's bound to be some shorts there. But every time we're trapping shorts in, it's pushing up closer to this VWAP. So now there's another one there, another bearish bar. It's triggered and pushed up. So I'm expecting it to turn again here. But we got a channel up. Pull back to attempt to push higher. Is it going to push up or what? I don't know. But yeah, that the short failure looked all right, especially when you get that one then trigger in there. You're pretty sure that's going to go up. Good on you, mate. Good on you. Okay, so that's 80% off, finishes tonight. I'm going to pick myself up 13 hours. Yeah, it finishes today. I'm going to pick myself up maybe 1 or 2 later. This is interesting. So we've pushed right up to VWAP and dropped back. This isn't a type of trade I take, though, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to sit this out. It's just out of curiosity that it's doing that, that's all. But we've had a channel up and we've 2 attempts to push lower. So are we pushing up a little bit higher there? Clearing out some of this, possible. 2 legs back. We could break above all this. There's going to be a lot of liquidity there. It's all kind of above there. So will it get that high? It may not. Now, if this is ranging, we've had a break out the bottom there. We could get one up here. Just for now, I'm just going to do that. Why not try penguin star and range charts? Do you know, I've not ruled out penguin charts. I'm still looking at them. That's one that I would have taken earlier with the channel, with a break and a new low. 2 attempts to push up, especially when it starts to go choppy. It's struggling to go. And that one clearly worked. The trouble is, Paul, what I'm finding is when I'm having a tough time, I think I'm looking for something that's missing instead of just accepting the fact that, you know, not every trading week is created equal. There's going to be, you know, tougher weeks. We have some days where it's choppy, and if the patience gets the better of you, you know, sometimes it can affect your trading. And then we get other days where things are quite clear. You know, you don't need to rely on your patience as much, and you tend to make a few trades. It's amazing how you can go from feeling on top of the world to feeling like absolute shite. With just a couple of losing trades. It has rejected off VWAP a bit there. Trouble is, we had it rejected there as well. Triggered, stopped out. So, or did it? No, it didn't actually. No, it didn't. It made a double top. So, interesting. So we got a lower high there. But yeah, I will say that over time, it's slowly affected me less and less. When I have a bad day, I'm pissed off for about an hour or two, maybe. It used to affect me for 2-3 days in a row before. So, you know, I kind of like the fact that it's having less of an effect on me. I will say, possible lower high here. Now, if it breaks below there, there'll be liquidity there and there as well. So it'll hit that and then possibly that. So we'll see how this forms. But every time we're coming up to this VWAP here, we are pushing off. But we've had some bounces here, so you never quite know. I'll put it out of the way. If I take a trade, I'll bring it in. It's just nothing you can do here on the normal ES chart, is it? It's just too sideways. Yeah. Picked off that liquidity there. There'll be some there as well. I was looking for a lower high. That finished a bit above price there. I just don't know if it's going to try and push out here. But once it got below there, it hit that liquidity there as well, and obviously came down for that. So that would have worked comfortably. But it's just looking a bit stacked up here. So just left it. Excuse me just a second, I maybe jump that. Sorry about that. Okay. Where am I? It's all right, not focusing. Yeah, you can't do nothing with this. Just choppy as that, isn't it? Let's have a look. Session, head of session. My brain is damaged from the news. Yeah, there is a possible second entry short here, but I'm not taking it right in the middle. It may work, it probably will. The last one did. Got a channel with a break, 2 attempts to push higher. Trouble is, it's quite rangy, so I don't really want to be trading right in the middle. That's how I took that loss. So I'm just going to sit out of this. Maybe a second entry short there as well. So, no. It's a bit congested here, and I will be going short right in the middle there, really. So let's just leave this. Just can't do nothing you can do here. It's relatively, I mean, we've got 2 legs down, but all this is quite random, isn't it? For me and my style, this is untradeable. I absolutely agree. I mean, literally, it's just choppy around here. It just makes it so risky, doesn't it? That's half the key. If you can get that right, if you can manage to stay out when it's like this, you'll do all right. You're switching to a sim. Yeah, switch to a sim, or just don't take trades. But yeah, hopefully it won't stay in this forever. Yeah, it's just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. There's nothing you can do, really. I can't really see any entries. We've got 2 legs down there, but we've only hit that twice. There's no guarantees it's going to work. There's nothing here, really. You won't want to go short there. It's just a bit too far from the tops. There's nothing there, really. There's nothing here. We had a correction there. Maybe a bearish barrier, maybe a small short there, not a massive risk, but no, there's nothing I can see really there. Summer trading starts early this year, seems that way, mate, doesn't it? I think the key is I'm trying to focus more on taking quality setups. You take quality setups, you lose less trades. Trouble is, if you take a loss, you've at least got to win one, possibly 2, just to get your money back, just to get back to where you were. And if you can kind of avoid the middleman there and just take the good trades, I've jumped back up to 2 contracts at the moment. ATR's just under 3.5. I found, looking back on some of my videos, that I took less trades. I think it was the end of February, I moved over to 1 contract, primarily because the ATR just went berserk. It was 8, 10, it was stupid. But now it's dropped. I found out, the thing is, doing 2 contracts at the moment, if I took a trade, the average ATR, let's say 3.5, tick above, tick below, I've got a $400 loss or a $300 win. 2 good trades in a week, that would give me over $2,000. 2 in a week, so that's 8 trades a month. What's that? 6, 12, that's $2,400. Even if you lost the next 2 and you lost $800, you'd still be making $1,800 for the month. That'd be trading on a 80% win rate and only looking for 2 trades, 2 to 3 trades a week. Take the losses on a sim, yeah. Trouble is, what I found on a sim sometimes, you take more risks on a sim, you'll just go for it. Oh, I'll have a go at this, I'll have a go at that. And sometimes that doesn't help. So we've pushed up into the range, we've gone sideways and we've broken out of it, which we often do, up, across and up. It is really fake, yeah, I do wonder sometimes, but it's good to have the screen time, isn't it? I tell you one thing you can do sometimes, and I've done this once or twice, not many, but it is refreshing, is switch it to a sim and just don't take any trades at all. Just sit back with a mug of tea, put your feet up and just watch price and see how different it looks when you've got no risk in the game. It's quite weird. it's good now and again, I think, because it's not often they say trading's about being comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. And it's not often we do that. So it's kind of nice just once in a while to do that. So we've got a leg up, 2 attempts to push lower, retest, and kind of a measured move. Now, whether that makes a difference or not. So clearly ranging now. You would expect this. Now it's picked up off some of this liquidity. I did mention it on here a bit ago. A leg, and we are up there. So it's cleared out any liquidity there, including that, with the exception of that one. So anything from there below, liquidity wise, has been eaten. So we've had a measured move there, and I'd say quite likely there as well. Trouble is, now we're above VWAP, you don't know what's going to happen. So I mean, look at that. It's a mess, really, isn't it? It actually looks, it's more readable here. It's more clear. You can see a triple test there, triple test there. Going to say, triple test look good. I've seen quite a few of them. Maybe there. Certainly there. That, for me, was a good one. And maybe there as well. So it does seem to show triple test quite well, this. So we've had 2 legs up there and cleared out all that liquidity, and we've had a leg and a leg. So let's see now if price does decide to push down again. Usually a leg up, sideways and a leg up, you'll at least come back to that EMA. I've noticed triple tests are more reliable than second entries on a range chart. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I marked a few the other day. They seem to be really clear as well. Where's this? Where's my... Here we go. I seem to get a lot more of them as well. Yeah, this was one from, I think this was Friday's chart. Clear triple test. 1, 2, 3, clear triple test. 1, 2, 3, clear triple test. 1, 2, 3. It's a slightly more riskier one, but it definitely does produce. I mean, when the market's trending, it, for me, it looks better. I mean, look how nice that was. Bounce, bounce, bounce. More or less confirming that worked beautifully. Look at that for a failed breakout and a triple test. Trapping shorts there. Look how beautiful that, to me, looked an absolute beauty. And then look at that. Off it went. So lovely setup there. Lovely setup there. That one for me I liked as well. And that one. I put that there, but we got a channel down there with 2 attempts to push higher and it worked. So, I mean, what a lovely day that was. Where was the next one? This was the range day. Still quite a few setups. Triple test off the bottom. We got a channel with a break in new low. Perfect, really nice. 2 legs down and it took off there. Triple test. We got a leg up there, a couple of legs back and 2 legs up. Same again, a leg and a leg. Fell breakout. That one worked beautifully. Same again there, almost very similar to that one that was trending up on the Friday's chart. 2 nice legs up there, fell breakout, and look at that takeoff. Bit congested this, but I marked them because I saw them. I don't think they were terrible. You can see there's 2 legs back and then a higher low, and it all worked. So I telling you now, I never pick this many charts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 high probability trades on here. I never pick that many on the normal ES chart, never. So I have to pay attention to it. It's great on trends, yeah. It's great on trends. So at the end of the day, if it gives you an extra 2 to 3 trades a week even, that considerably help your bank balance, can't it? But look at this. This looks such a mess. I can't see I can't see a trade on here. That one's super clear. Now, if I can get that, trade in 2 contracts and make myself $300, all I've got to do is that once again over the rest of the week, and that'll make myself $2,400. You take 2 losses, you lose $800. You're up $1,600 for the month. You only need to do that twice, and look how well it worked. 3 lovely attempts. It's always nice to push above and clear any liquidity, and then finish bearish. And that worked. 2 bars, you're out. Really nice. That one, 2 legs up. I wouldn't have taken it because it's. You may argue there's a bit of a bigger channel there, but it worked anyway. But failure there. Channel with a break. There's about to be longs in there off the EMA, triggered and then came down. But you know, I think if you're being super selective, that's the good one for me. And if you can do that in a day, you've earned your money. So I've gone back to 2 contracts. I'd rather try and find 2 or 3 quality setups. As soon as I moved down to 1 contract, I started taking riskier trades, and I think just that extra pressure. Now, obviously, ATR is a condition. As long as it's 4 or under, it's 3 at the moment. So the average bar, so I'd be risking $350 on a trade. But that's what I like about the range bar. ATR is always 2.5. Always. You know, every single bar is a maximum of 10 ticks. Tick above, tick below, 3-point risk, and then whatever profit you choose. So it's nice to just look at both charts, actually, and maybe trade them both at the same time. Well, if there is just a bigger range there. Let me just clear some of this up a bit. Well, there is just a big, we've got a little breakout there. Now, we know often when we get a breakout at one part of it, the top, we get the one at the opposite end. So that actually, let me just kill the color on that and darken this a little bit. I've noticed low highs, high low to confirm second entries are good on the range chart, since you'll get a 3rd entry, 4th entry short, fake outs on a lot of the range charts. Yeah. It's definitely worth looking at, Darius, isn't it? It's something, I think, just for me, it's made my ears prick up and my eyes light up as well. Now, it's not the golden egg, is it? But it's better than this, I think. I can't see any trades here. It's just choppy and quite random. Yeah. But you've got to pay attention to it. You know, like I say, I haven't seen nothing on the normal ES chart. The most clearest one I've seen today is that triple test. Super clear and worked beautifully. Clearly, leg and a leg. You may say that one, it may be a bit congested, but you know, if I can see one quality setup and a clear setup that's obvious in a day, that's more than I'm seeing on the normal 2000 ES chart at the moment. You're determined to make it work. Yeah, me too. What I like about it as well is you know your risk before you even take your trade. You tick above, tick below. you know you're only ever risking 3 points, so you can properly manage risk. And how many times do we see a second entry or something like that, and the bar ends up being 20 odd ticks? Straight away you're thinking, you start to question yourself. The bigger the risk, the more you start to second guess yourself. And you know, when you've been doing this job 10, 15 years, you may not second guess yourself, but you know, I've been doing it 4.5 years, and I still do at times. This isn't a career that you can be a master at in a matter of a few years. It takes a long time. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's definitely got to pay attention to it. Did someone shoot Powell? Why is the market dead all of a sudden? Yeah, as exactly right. Mush is a good word. It is, isn't it? It's almost like you're getting a bucket of paint and throwing at a board, isn't it? As opposed to drawing a picture. Yeah, it has turned into, it's like one of those splatter paintings we used to do when you were kids. Just you just get a brush, just flick it at the picture, don't you? Try and make something that looks interesting. It's kind of what the 2000 tick chart is. Things change. You can't expect, you know, everything to be as good all of the time, and that's why having options and backups like the range chart helps. Oh dear. God, this chart's different than mine. But yeah, you're right, 2000 tick chart. I mean, look at that. It is a mess, isn't it? I think mush is too good of a word, to be honest with you. If we get a fail second entry below the range, yeah, I suspect Penguin would mark it. You're on about 2 legs up. Yeah, I mean, we're at the top, aren't we? And we're clearly struggling, aren't we? So you'd kind of think we had very similar there, didn't we? Same sort of thing, 2 legs. And then down it came, 2 legs. I mean, we're at the tops at the moment. We know there's support up here. We know we've tried multiple times to get out. So I think this is a type of trade that if it does push below that EMA, yeah, I think you're right. You'd probably take that down to sort of this area. It's chopping around, is it? Okay, I'm getting a bit dry in the mouth here, ladies and gents. So I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break just to wet the palate. Where's my 5-minute breaky majiggy? There it is. Okay, so let's just... Why isn't that popped on? Where are you? Disappeared. Top. There we go. It's back. I'm just going to take a quick 3 to 5 minutes. Just throw some tea in a mug, and I'll be back. Let's have a look. Okay, so yeah, that did push back. We kind of thought it might. So I think there's a bigger range there with just a little breakout and a little breakout there. That's what I'm thinking. Let's just remove. That's frustrating when you say that. Look at that, 5, 10, 15 points straight down and no entry. Hell's bells. Trump is speaking now, is he? He won't say nothing important. Yeah, that's what worries me. Yeah, okay. There's a few people got this and look at the same one. Marco has as well and Bear Trap has. Trump's done speaking, has he? Well, I'm guessing he didn't open his mouth because we've had no surprises. Whenever I think it's more when he tweets something. Mind you, you just never know. Perhaps he's been advised to calm things down because for that, I don't know, a couple of months, the markets were bouncing all over the place. It was a bit scary. Ah, okay. I didn't say that. Max chart, he's got the same. Well, that does nothing happen with me. Max sometimes has some odd looking charts. I'm surprised Mac ain't got something like that. He has some odd ones sometimes, doesn't he? But nah, it's pretty much going sideways, isn't it? had my bottom range a little higher. This one here. Why have I got it there? I thought I had that. Have I just moved it? Oh, let's go here. What did I post? Oh yeah, I don't know why I did that. That's a bit weird. Yeah, you're right. I did have it. Strange. So, who was it who mentioned Penguin earlier? 2 legs up, push through that EMA. Yeah, that worked. 2 attempts to push higher off the tops as well. Yeah, you're right. Tied in, yeah. So he'd have waited probably for that push, wouldn't he? So he'd probably enter here somewhere, wouldn't he? Somewhere around about here. Stop above there. Would he go 1 to 2 there? 1 to 1.5. Mind you, the beauty about... I do like it sometimes when he gets into a trade here with an extra stop. Because, I mean, the beauty there is if now and again we've all entered trades in, it goes up, stops you out and then ends up dropping. So the beauty about having something like that and that type of entry, if once it goes sideways, if you can catch it as high as possible, the good thing about having your stop up here is you are out before we've even got to the midline. So, you know, sometimes price will come down and it might not bounce at the bottom. If there's enough buyers in here, it may not bounce at the bottom and that before we eventually get a push out possibly. So sometimes, you know, getting in around somewhere around about here, I'd probably have my profits there, probably stop there, maybe a bit higher than that in case we get it, but we're out before the midline, so that's, I do like that type of idea. And if you notice, if you remember, Gorilla Trader used to kind of do the same sort of thing. He'd wait for 2 legs back off a trend and he would jump in here. Often he'd get in halfway in a bar and risk a little bit less, and he'd wait for the push up and then try and get the profit at the tops. So, you know, Penguin, Mac, Gorilla, all the similar strategy, just, you know, more the size of the move really, and you know, but all kind of very similar. Measured movie. Well, yeah, I wish he'd stream. If he started streaming, I'd stop my streaming. I'd go over there and join his, I think. Have you noticed, though, and I don't mean this disrespectful to him, the people seem to have a lot of success are the ones that don't stream. Now, whether it's because they don't stream or they don't have as much success as you kind of think, do you know what I mean? But what I used to like about Penguin, he doesn't so much do it now, but he used to mark his losses as well. He did take the odd 1 or 2 here or there, not many, but it's enough to say I still take losses. But so people like him who post their losses, I got a little bit more time for, because I like people that don't feel it's a weakness to post the loss. That's why I started watching Thomas Wade, because he posted his losses, and I think that shows a lot of character. I was watching Tom Hugard trade 6 weeks ago. 2 losses in a row. And we know Tom Hugard is quite a wealthy guy. He's traded for some big institutions, and he's what you would consider a very successful kind of well-known trader. And he took 2 losses in a row. That kind of made me feel better. So I do like it when people, you know, show their losses or talk about the losses, because it does show character. There's nothing weak about admitting you've taken a loss. I don't like taking losses. It's not because I feel weak. It's just I don't want to lose the money. But I know some traders that mark charts. You never ever see them mark a loss, and you feel like they've got to have some at some time. But I think it's good for newer traders, because it's, you know, I remember when I first started, I just thought, God, am I the only one who takes losses here? Because no one seems to post a chart with a loss on. And then Mac was, marking a dozen or so, and I'm thinking, man, I'm useless at this. So I think it's good. It's good for the newer traders to see that even experienced traders take losses. You just don't see a lot of traders that show you, and I think it's important for the newer generation who've been trading a little bit less, just to know. I mean, the experienced ones know it happens, who've had a little bit more experience, because it marked the probability trades. Yeah, it is important. I'd like to see Mac. What I'd love for him to do, and I know I harp on about this, I'd love for him to say, okay, out of all the trades I've marked, I took that one and took that one. Now, why he won't do that, I've got no idea. I used to think it's because he takes trades that don't follow his rules because he can. But whenever I've seen him take trades that he's managed to video, he still follows his same rules. So I really, for the life of me, don't know why he wouldn't go, out of all the trades I marked, this was the one I took and that one there. Why he can't do that simple thing, I don't know. I'd love him to. And I know he's said before in the past when I've asked him about it, he said it wouldn't help you. It would. It would. It'd make me feel better just to know. But, some people are good at teaching, some people aren't. Is Mac a great teacher? He's a lovely guy, first and foremost, and he's taught me a skill, hopefully, is going to make me money for the rest of my life. But I wouldn't necessarily say he's a natural teacher, and that's not a diss on Mac's behalf. I'm the first one to defend him because I think he's a genuine guy, and the tiny amount he charges traders to teach him a trade, I think it's almost criminal. I feel like I'm robbing him by only paying $125 a year. So, but we all know certain things, and sometimes we all wish, there's certain cars I absolutely love. I just wish they'd have this and I wish they'd have that, but it wouldn't stop me buying one. So you still with us, Jan, are you? I was just reading your comment there, bud. I tested tempo, but you were going for 8 ticks. You're not as brave as me. Mind you, used to fly commercial airliners. I think you'd be going for more than 8 ticks. You must have balls of steel, my friend. It's definitely worth paying attention to, isn't it? It's definitely worth, even having it as a second chart. It's definitely worth paying attention to. So we've got a channel down with a break, 2 attempts to push higher. Trouble is we come off the bottoms and this is rangy, so what's the range? I'm going to dazzle you in Asia now. So this is the range chart. Sounds a little bit more complicated. How you doing, Kirk? Sounds a bit more complicated than it is, but I've got mine set to the 10 range, and all that means is when a bar gets to 10 ticks from its high to its low, as soon as it goes higher, in other words 11 ticks, a new bar is formed. So every single bar is 10 ticks from its high to its low. And what that does is, first and foremost for me, if you put your order 1 tick above there in your signal bar, that's 10 ticks. Tick above, tick below, 12 ticks. Your risk is always 3 points. That's assuming you actually get filled 1 tick above and you don't try and jump in a bit higher. So your risk is always going to be 3 points. So you can mitigate that risk by 1 contract, 2 contracts, 5 micro, however you much want to risk, you can do it easily. Another thing as well is when a bar like that is formed, if you wanted to go long above it, if it's currently 10 ticks, as soon as it triggers above it, it'll trigger you in the trade, because you don't need to know that actually. It'll probably sort that out. But let me just show you Friday's chart. I was told about it. I think there was a few traders in here talking about it last week. So I just had a look at Friday's chart and I thought I'll open up the 10 bar and I'll have a look at the chart. And this is what I saw, and it kind of blew my mind to a degree. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. There. Okay, so this is Friday's chart. So I have never seen a chart looking that clean. Well, I have seen it looking that clean, but I've never seen that many setups on a chart in my life. Now, just taking this this trend channel. So we push up in this trend channel, we push above it, we bounce here, we push above this second entry long, right off the key entry point, worked beautiful. We got a little range going on here, fail break out of a range, more or less a second entry as well, triple test, worked beautifully. So starting from this side, triple test, really nice and clear. That one, channel break, 2 pushes to a new high. We came back to the EMA and we pushed up. In fact, there's a failure there. There's also a second entry long. So I'd probably consider that. It's a little bit more risky, that one. It's a little bit congested, but so I put a green bar. Then we have a channel down, 1 attempt to push higher, second attempt, another triple test. Also channel break, new low, 2 attempts to push higher. So another triple test. Same again, channel down, 1, 2, 3, another triple test, clearly worked. Channel break, new low, riskier trade, higher low, riskier trade, but both worked. Same again there. And that one, channel break, new high, picked off all this liquidity. You may even call that a triple test. But I've never seen, for me, the quality ones are that one, that one, that one, and that one. But I never, ever see this many high probability, what I consider high probability, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 high probability trades, of which that one, and those 2 for sure. That one I think was the best. I love that one as well. Same again, confirming that. Dropped out the bottom. You got a lower high there, which is trapped. And look at this, just worked beautifully. Both just took off. Fake outs. Not necessarily. You've still got to look for good setups, but in my opinion, there's more of them. Now, it is early days. I've only been looking at it for, maybe 4 or 5 days. But I've marked another chart up, which was another range day. Same again, look at that. So we got a channel up there. There's a failure there. Let me just see if I can zoom in here. So we have a channel break, new low. Second entry short, that bar there, which comes down. Sorry. Lower high there. So there's a failure. That's all right. Let me just focus on what I'm doing here. Second entry short there, triggered. I would have taken that one. We got 2 legs down and a higher low there. Same again, fail breakout, channel break, new low. Few attempts to push higher, fell breakout, cleared out the liquidity and worked beautifully. Channel break, new low, 2 lovely legs down, cleared out any liquidity and took off. Same again there, 2 legs up. We got a channel with a break, new high, clearing out any liquidity before it comes down. Same again, channel, 2 attempts to push up. Second entry short worked, lower high, both worked. And that was the second channel I found. Same again, there's definitely at least 2 trades I'd have taken on there. That being one of them, and that. So I'm just not seeing that many setups. And today's not a huge amount of setups today. The main one I'd have taken is the triple test. It's super clear, that one. It's not congested. It's well broken up, and you can see 2 legs. I'd have definitely taken that one. Sorry, I did take that one, but on a separate account, but there's nothing I can see here, to be honest with I've had a tick chart, a range chart, and a volume chart. Yeah, it's worth looking at them all, isn't it? You know, there's so much bits of information out there. Some will help, some may not. You know, some people look at Bookmap and swear by it. Other people don't. Some people use volume profiles. Some people, you know, use all sorts of the multitude of different indicators just to help give them that little bit of confirmation. It's been ages since you looked. Yeah, do you see what? Hey, Lance, I still can't seem to get rid of the wording's tick counter. What you need to do, mate, is get rid of the max thing in that case. Let me have a look. So let me see if I can put it on, then take it off. So there's max thing, the BP Mac part 2. Let's have a look. I think it's visible. So if I select visible and apply it, yeah, there you go. Tick counter. So right down the bottom, just click visible. If I select it there, gone. So visible. So click on max, blah, 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 part 2, visible, and you're done. That should sort you out. Now, it's not a magic bullet, but I am definitely seeing more clear setups. This, as somebody mentioned earlier, is just mush. It's crap. It's horrible. It doesn't look much better on the, you know, on the range chart, but it is more readable, I think. So there we go. You've still got to be selective. You got it anytime, mate. Anytime, buddy. You've still got to be selective. You can't just, you know, jump in randomly. You've still got to wait for good setups, but I just don't see a great deal. I don't see a great deal on the 2000 tick chart anymore. Sometimes information received differently at different stage of development. Yeah, I believe you. Absolutely. I try and accept the fact that this is a real skill, and I've been trading now 4.5 years. Maybe in another 2 years I'll be even better. Maybe 2 years after that I'll be better. But yeah, there's so much bits of information and experience that, yeah, I don't doubt it, mate. Different bits of information gets sort of absorbed in at different times. It's not black and white, this business, is it? It's so much grey area, and you kind of have to... It's very hard to teach this. You've sort of more got to give people guidance and let them kind of figure it out through it. It's one of those jobs that you have to experience it to kind of learn it, you know, kind of get it stuck in there. And so look at range charts years back, but now maybe I'll see something else. Yeah. It's an old journey, isn't it? That you got to try and figure your own way of doing it. I missed it, but just look at that last signal bar at the bottom. You're on about down here. Yeah, see, I wouldn't have taken that purely and simply because it looks like, I mean, you may argue there's something like that, but it's a tough one, isn't it? I'm not very good at picking tops and bottoms unless it's had a bit of a drop and cleared out liquidity. Because sometimes it'll trigger you, come down, stop you out, clear liquidity, and then rock it up. So I think this to me looks like a little channel. But, you know, even if we are in a channel, sometimes it won't have a break and a new low. If it hits the right area and there's enough buyers. Yeah, I'm not very good at picking tops and bottoms of these unless it's, you know, super obvious. It's not one of my strong points, bud. So I tend to avoid them a bit. That's the coward in me, that is. Yeah, I just don't have a lot of luck. I should pay more attention. Well, I kind of try to. But I suppose we've all got strengths, haven't we? Certain things I'm better at than others. I certainly don't think it hurts having two charts. Looking at the 2000, looking at the range, you can compare them. Don't in a second. No, it was more that I didn't want to go long in this little, what looks like a little trend. A lot of times in a trend, as we know, it'll break and make a new extreme, which is why that didn't interest me. If it had been a bit lower and maybe cleared some of this liquidity, I'd have probably had a go at it. It's just me, but I'm just not super confident in ranges. If we can get a nice bounce at a higher low, they're the type of ones I'd probably take. Well, it's funny you should say that because we've bounced strongly off VWAP and we've had 2 attempts to push higher, so this may come down a bit more. I didn't take it because looking on the standard 2000 tick chart, we've come off the bottoms and I'm guessing it's got more chance of getting up to this level, so don't diddle in the middle. I keep hearing, I heard somebody mention that a while back, so I just sort of stayed out of it, but that would have worked for a few points at least, I think. Yeah, not as much as I thought. 3 points it would have given me it, but because we're kind of in the middle, I am paying attention to VWAP as well. A lot of people swear by it. And if it gives me that, you know, if I'm looking to take a short here and I can see it's rejecting off that, that gives it that little bit more credence. So that's kind of why I've got it on there, just to see if it makes a difference. And I like the nice red line. VWAP indicator took me a while, mate. It is. Now, I've got the lifetime license, so whether that makes a difference or not, I've got it under order flow VWAP. And what I had to do was to delete all these colors, and that's the only one I wanted left, which is the VWAP, because it almost kind of looks like a it's kind of like Bollinger Bands. You've got loads of stuff all the way around. I can figure out really, but I just deleted all those and it seemed to work. But order flow VWAP in here now. Whether you'll have access to it, I don't know, because I have got a lifetime license. So whether it comes free as part of that, I'm not sure. But there's bound to be a free indicator where you can get it. There's bound to be. You didn't like the bar? No, it qualifies. Yeah. It's built into Ninja. I have a lifetime. Yeah, you'll have it then. So just I'll find it for you again. It's under order flow. Which one is it? Order flow VWAP. It's not that one, or is it? Yeah, it is. Order flow VWAP. That one there. I don't know why it's under order flow. I was looking at V. But yeah. Whether it makes a difference, I'm just paying attention to how price acts towards it. I know a lot of people use it in their trading, so if there is traders shorting off it and we're generally in a downtrend and I'm looking for a short there, it might just give me that little bit of extra confidence that VWAP is saying short or it's bouncing. So you're welcome, mate. Try order flow cumulative delta, useful to buy and sell pressure. Yeah, isn't that where you get the bars at the side of the screen? There's so much out there, isn't there? Order flow cumulative delta. Just want to see buying and selling pressure. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit. I did try and spend a bit of time learning about order flow and volume profile and all that sort of stuff. But so much to learn, isn't there? And then I keep hearing experienced traders saying, keep it simple. But I don't know, what do you do? What do you do? There's a mountain of information. It's hard to know what to take on board, isn't it? Oh, so far, what a horrible day. Now, I'm wondering here, we pushed down, we've had one attempt to push higher. Maybe that was the second attempt to push higher. Are we struggling now? Is this going to maybe have a break of this channel? I did kind of expect, looking at the bigger picture, see, touching nice as well. We kind of push up, a little bit of sideways, then have a drop, push up, a little bit of sideways with a drop, push up, couple of drops, push up, big drop. So we are chopping around here. So, but we have just come off the highs. So I'm guessing a leg down chop and then maybe down some more to kind of this area. And if you look at the daily looks like we've got a potential big pullback. So with just those two bits of information, see what I mean? We've come up to this and we've had two pushes, but look, that, let me just get rid of that. We've got a big bullish bar there, which is triggered. So this could come down and clear some of this out. We do look a bit, you've broken above this area, we do look a bit overdue for a bit of a pullback. If I was trading this market, you wouldn't really want to be going long up here, would you? I wouldn't have thought. It would be more down here, so it's hard to say. So my gut feeling at the moment is, I think, generally bearish at the moment. Where's all my stuff gone? Where's my drawing gone? Oh, I hit it, didn't I? Yeah, so, you know, at the moment, we are generally bullish all over, but, you know, chop, chop, chop. I think we're due for a drop. We've come right off the tops, big, strong drop down. One attempt to go higher, maybe a second attempt, and then I think this is going to fail. Just a gut feeling, really. Especially as we've come off the top. We didn't get high enough there. We had two legs back. We had a move up, sideways, move up, two legs back. We continued up, but we didn't get to the highs. We did there, and then we dropped monumentally there. So my guess is it's more likely to go down. There is a lower high on a range as well. The trouble is we are above the EMA at the moment. We have had two legs up, a second inch short. That is a lower high, so it might not be a terrible trade. But I don't like the way it's a little bit above there. So I just left it, I think. We've got two legs up, another attempt. It's just not super clear at the moment. We've got a push up, two attempts to go lower, so this could still go up. Especially if prices close above the EMA. So we got to move up there. 2 attempts to go higher. It could go higher, this. So trouble is, it's right in the middle. Just makes it way more dangerous. So I'm staying out, right, especially right in the middle. It doesn't get any more in the middle than that. It could still come down. There is a possible failure, long failure setting up here. If it breaks below there, there'll be liquidity there and probably there. So if it does close low, 2 legs up, and it is kind of rejecting off VWAP, isn't it? But the trouble is, it is in the middle, so it does make it a little bit more risky. But if it does break below there and there, it may get a small move down. Still got a little ways to go though to break below there. It's triggered now, it's moving up. So it's best off just staying out there because it is a little bit of congested. So 2 pushes down, so it could move up. It could do either or really. You could jump in on a limit order if you really like that one on the range bar. You're risking a bit less, but I'm just staying out of it. It's just a bit square really, isn't it? So it could bounce off here. We've pushed up into it. A lot of times we'll bounce up, across and up. See, itching to trade. Yeah, you got to try and get rid of that. I used to have that all the time. It didn't bother me now. I'm quite happy. You know, sometimes if I sit here and not take a trade for 3 hours and go away, you know, at 0, I kind of give myself a pat on the back. If I haven't seen, I'm trying to have this comment in my head that says no trade, no setup, no trade. So unless I get something that makes me jump in and say I like that or I love that, I'm quite happy not to take a trade, because if I take a riskier trade and it goes wrong, 1, I tend to kick myself. 2, I've got to at least win. I've got to get 2 winning trades then to be in the green. 1 generally won't do it. So, you know, there's temptation to trade here, but I can't remember how many times I've heard traders say don't diddle in the middle. It's stuck in my head that now. And it is in the middle. If you were shorting that or that, it is. You just never know. It may trigger you and push up. We've come off the bottom. Sometimes it'll make a couple of attempts to go low before it pushes up. So, and it is in the middle really. So it's just, I certainly wouldn't dream of taking a trade on the normal ES chart. God knows where it may go. So, I will say, based on that, the range chart, if it does break below those 2 bullish bars, it may get a small drop, but it might not be enough. you know, sometimes it may push down, clear this liquidity out, and then push up. Okay, it's got rid of that one and that one. So now let's see if it reverses. And that's the problem. Sometimes you're getting short there. If you're thinking short there for however many points, you know, let's say you're going for 2 points or whatever, comes down, takes out liquidity, turns and pushes up and stops you out. This market's very clever at making traders miserable. See what I mean? It is a failure. You are trapping longs and longs there. But the trouble is, if I wanted to take a trade like that, I'd make sure I was out at the close of that bar, and you've got to hold anything really. It's not worth the risk just to take that small amount there. I'm not saying it won't continue down, but look, there's a point there maximum. It's not worth the risk for a 3-point risk. And if you're doing any more than a point, you wouldn't have got in. So it'll do that a lot. You think, yeah, here we go, look, liquidity there, then sometimes it'll just nick them and off it'll go. So I tend to just stay out of it. I never have much success trading in the middle. Enough room, yeah. It's actually gone up, triggered the bull bar and then come back down now, but it's still on that area. I still wouldn't want to take that much heat. Yeah, see, if I got into a short there and it came back on me, I'd be changing my underwear. There's nothing worse than it coming back because you're thinking you're doomed. And then as soon as that comes down, then you're jumping out. It may well go down, but trouble is, because it's in the middle, it just, you never quite know if it's going to continue on up eventually to the top as it's come off the bottom. Which you'd kind of expect in a range. Generally, it comes from the top to the bottom, so you just never know. As it happens, it worked. Oh, not quite. I wouldn't have quite got me 3 points. I think you probably will, though. So, are we now eventually going to break out, Billy? I believe we will. We pushed up. We made 2 attempts to go lower. That means it could go higher. We've also made 2 attempts to go higher, so it could go lower. But we push down into the range. I think we'll drop out the bottom. Second entry short failure. Yeah, trouble is it's so choppy, isn't it? Might see Memorial Day Apex 90% off. You never know. Let's hope so. It's Monday, isn't it? Memorial Day. So no trading. In fact, I might have a day fishing. I might go fly fishing on Monday, I think. Yeah, 80% finishes today. I hope they stop it actually, because sometimes they'll just extend it over there. I hope we get a better one. I can't see it. They've definitely been a bit tighter when it comes to the 90%. But fingers crossed. Fly fishing set. Yeah, there's a beautiful lake about 6 miles up the road from me. And it's full of rainbows, browns, even blue trout. I've never even heard of blue trout before. J.R. Hartley. Fly fishing by J.R. Hartley. That takes me back. You must be old like me. I do all sorts of fishing. There's a carp lake about 1.5 miles. You are. There's a carp lake about 1.5 miles from me. Lovely lake, actually. I go up there sometimes and park up there for a few hours. That's great if you just want to nip out for a couple of hours in the evening. But I do like the thing about carp fishing and fly fishing. Fly fishing is a lot lighter. You just turn up with a vest, a net on the back, and that's it. You can just literally walk and fish on the move. And it is kind of refreshing, really, to have light tackle rather than unpin everything around. Your big rod bags, your big landing net, and your bag of tackle and that. But it is nice. I like taking it off the surface as well. I do. It is nice. Memorial Day. Yeah, I'm gonna have a day fishing. What's the weather like on Monday? So it's been nice here lately, but I think we are due some rain. In fact, we've had one of the driest Mays on record, I think. They're on about hosepipe bans soon. Let's have a look. Monday. Light rain, showers and moderate breeze, typical. It's still mild though. It's rain in the afternoon. I might go in the morning. Do 3-4 hours in the morning, I think. Lots of rain here, Vancouver. Have you really? We've had a really, really dry month. I know. I was looking on the news yesterday, and we got a lot of these big dams are extremely low. I've just bought a new pool as well to put up, so I might have to get that. It's only one of those. We usually have one every year, which sits up for about 4 months of the year. One of these. We've got one of those. We got rid of that stupid pump and we got rid of that thing. We've got a proper sand filter. We paid about a couple of £100 for it. Keeps it crystal clear. But that in the summer is just lovely. You know, when you get those really hot days, only 12 foot wide. It's not a lot. But the last one lasted us about 4 years, I think, before it started to leak and we ended up chopping it up. But we just have this sand filter which goes on automatically twice a day for about 1.5 hours. Have a little bit of chemical in a floating device and it's crystal clear. It's lovely, got to say. So I might have to go out and get it filled up before, just in case we have an hosepipe ban. So let's see if we break below here. I feel we will, as we didn't get up to the top. We've kind of come down from this big move down. We've had one push higher. I would consider that a second push higher, maybe a couple of legs. I don't know. We'll see. We had a range day like this. Was it last week sometime? Just stayed like that all day. First bit of rain. Got to say, it's definitely having nice to speak to people. It was our all day yesterday. I should have never left you guys. It felt so quiet. It's so weird. It felt so quiet. Trouble is, I've been streaming longer than I've been training 4.5 years. I've been streaming for 2.5 years. So it's kind of all I've done really, and it does feel weird not being able to talk about what I'm seeing. I bet you felt abandoned, didn't you? Or were you kind of secretly glad, thinking finally we've got him to shut up? I bet there'll have been a couple saying thank God for that. And it's been some. We miss you too. It is nice that to have a talk, I've got to say. I miss you, Karina, as well. I miss your smiley faces. Gonna say it is boring by yourself, isn't it? You don't really notice it until you do it. We miss you too. What does anybody else think of that? Touch, touch, touch. Kind of looks like it. Push up, slowly work back, push up, work back, push up. Where's it going? You'd have guessed down here somewhere. So whether it goes slowly and eventually intercepts that line, who knows? It's a tough one, isn't it? Man, we all need you on. You're doing your thing. It's nice to have some second opinions, isn't it? It does make things a bit better, doesn't it? It is a lonely old business, really. And when a job's stressful and you lose money, it can be pretty low at times. And when you're sort of stuck by yourself, it just kind of adds to that misery, doesn't it? And we all know what it feels like when things aren't going your way. It's not pleasant, is it? Right, is this the break we're going to have? I have a feeling we're going to break out now. Yeah, it's no fun when things aren't going well. I got to say, a couple of months ago, maybe 2.5 months ago, I was looking back on some of my older videos, looking about when I was trading 2 contracts. I had 20 accounts, $41,000 in them, and I felt on top of the world. And it's amazing how you can things can go from shit to worse, from great to shit, in the space of a month or so. But what I think now is I pick myself up a lot quicker now than I used to, and kind of crack on again. Gonna say I mean, if you look at let's look at Alpine. He's just dad. I think he's just took out $49,000 in payments this month. He was getting crucified a month ago. He was getting battered. He was blowing accounts left, right, and centre. I remember that time he was going away for a weekend, and he ended up blowing 12 of his. I think all the accounts went. I can't imagine what that feels like just before you go on holiday. But he's bounced back. I dare say he spent a lot on money on evals and PA accounts, but nowhere near what he's earned. I think he said he'd earned 100,000 or just over 100,000. So you've got to take your hat off to the guy. You can get battered, chopped up, and crucified, and it's about bouncing back and moving forward. Yeah, he got nailed, didn't he, Nate? He really had a tough time. He was having bad days after bad days. You know, he'd have one good day, 2 or 3 bad days, and he'd be blowing accounts left, right, and centre. But everyone I've spoken to, more or less everyone, said the last couple of months has been really tough trading. And I haven't seen many quality setups on this chart. I haven't really seen any. And when all of a sudden you've learnt some skills, you've managed to get some PA accounts, you've got a bit of money in there, you've had a few payments, and all of a sudden the setups dry up, and you start to think, what am I going to do? I finally got where I need to get, and we're getting no setups. And then patience gets the better, and you get into a few, you lose a few, and all of a sudden, one minute you're flying high, next minute you're on your knees. It's tough. But I got to say, I don't mind admitting twice since I started trading, I've been in tears. I literally have, downstairs in tears. But fortunately, my wife has been really supportive, and she's kind of helped pick me up. And I've never had a job like that that's made me feel so miserable. At times, going back a year and a half ago, it was affecting my mood at home. I was just miserable all the time. But I do seem to have got over the worst. But, you've still got to wait for those quality setups and be really selective. And sometimes when setups do dry up, it's very easy to fall foul of your patience. And your patience goes just a bit. You haven't taken a trade for a day or so, and you take a trade and you get stopped out, and it's frustrating. And then often, as it's the case, one loss leads to a second loss. And before you know it, you feel like you've lost your way. What am I going to do? What's gone wrong? What am I doing? But every time that happens now, it hurts less and less, and I bounce back. So it's just a case of moving on, isn't it? I try to have this mantra now: no setup, no trade. Even if I haven't taken a trade for 3 days, I'd rather not take a trade than take a loss, because my patience, And I know sometimes you'll get people on here saying took 5 points there, took 3 points there, took 2 points there. It may be the case, but not a lot of people say got stopped out there, got stopped out there. So sometimes people will say, I've taken 2 trades today. And that may be the case, but they may be taking more trades and they may have distinctively more losses. But my guess is there's not a lot of setups around. So, it's very easy to people to post charts. And I know when Marco posts the charts, I've seen him mark charts and say he didn't take a trade. And marking them after the fact, is, as we know, looking at max charts is a lot easier. But in hindsight, when you're actually there in front of the charts, the setups aren't always that obvious, but when you look at a chart afterwards, they do, they become more clear. But you can't trade it like that. Expected expectations. Yeah, you just have to wait for some. We all know what a good setup's like. We may not see many of them at the moment, but you just have to wait. But even if you can make yourself $200-300 from 2 trades in a week, it's still a decent amount of money if you've got multiple accounts. You don't need to take a lot. So when times are hard, even if you can get 2 good winning trades in a week, you're still earning money. I think it's important to remember that you don't need a lot of trades to make money. When I started trading, I could say 2 to 3 trades a day. You just don't see that many, in my opinion. That marks a lot of trades that I wouldn't. Absolutely. You can't see that many setups when you're looking at the charts live. Anyone can go back onto yesterday's chart and mark setups, because we got some thunder and light, I think. I sworn I saw a spark. Yeah, a few claps of thunder out there. In fact, I'm sure about 10 or 15 minutes ago, something on my screen just flicked. Whether it's anything to do with that, who knows? Market have cycles. We need to adapt on all strategies. Aggressive time, accept that. Yeah, absolutely. Even if you make $150 in a trade, even if you can make a small amount as $500 per month, if you've got 10 PA accounts, that's $5,000 a month. And that is on what an absolutely awful week or an awful month. So even, as they say in the UK, even when the shit hits the fan, you can still make money. You don't need a lot of setups. And I think it's important to avoid a setup that you think is a bit risky and wait for something that you love. I've heard that said so many times. but sometimes I still jump in a little bit impulsively. There is a second entry short on the range chart, but is it high enough? Are we going to push up and clear this liquidity? Well, it's not technically a second entry short, but you can clearly see two legs. Sometimes this may work and it may not, and it is more or less in the middle, so the sensible thing to do here, as tempting as it is, just to leave it. Now, it may go down, but if it stops me out, I've then got my next trade is just going to break even, and I'd rather miss it. But when it's like this, really, it's just, I suppose if you're going to take trades, you're better off taking them as high as possible or as low as possible. And that is a bit too much in the middle, isn't it? And that is not what you want to see. When that happens, you pretty much know you're in trouble. So if you can not trade, if you don't take a trade for 3 hours, I'd give yourself a pat on the back. In fact, I have an extra whiskey. Because you've done your job. You've sat there patiently. If you haven't seen a trade, you haven't taken one. And you know, that takes congratulating yourself if you can sit there for that long and not take a trade. It's easier said than done. I wish Matt would post some of his losing trades. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't take many. In fact, Jan, I'll show you. Look at this. Jan sent me this. I don't think Mac will mind. I'm going to put it on anyway. It's a video from about 13 years ago. Jan sent me it, and I'd seen it before, actually. So I'm going to show you guys. Watch this. He actually has his... He moved his stop. Where is it? I'll leave the... let me have a look. Oh, I bet I can't move it now, can I? Let me have a look. For some reason, it won't let me move my messenger. I don't know why. Let me see if I can open the video. That's, I think, yeah, here we go. This is Mac's. This is a trade from Mac from 13 years ago.
I think I missed this trade. I was trying to demonstrate a trade. As you can see, prices took off without me here.
So the move's already gone, but he's still got a buy order here, which is strange.
If it comes back, I may still stay with this trade. But here was our trend line coming down from the overnight. We had our break here, you see, and it's basically a two-legged.
So look, market's already gone over 2 points up,
here's our two legs down,
but he's still got a buy order in there, which is unusual.
That was the reason I was looking at getting long right here. Prices bounced too quickly. I tried to get long over this, and it took off without me, so I put a limit order in here. And so this is the limit order, and we'll see if maybe
You'd never take a trade like that now.
I still like the trade. We'll see what happens here. We'll see if I can get filled on this.
Yeah, they were. I mean, that was 13 years ago. He'd have been traded over 10 years by then. You'd think you'd know better, wouldn't you? But watch some of his older videos. They're quite entertaining, actually. But the move's already gone back to the EMA. So technically, really, it's a counter-trend trade. You don't know whether it's going to continue down. The move's already gone up 2.5 points, but he's still got a buy order.
We had that little gap right there. More overlapping bars we get right here, the better I like going long as well. I'm also expecting prices to come back. We had kind of a support area right across here, maybe a little higher. So I'm expecting prices to come back to that. I'm just hoping we can get filled here. I just don't know if we're going to.
It's got volume down here as well. So he's tried other things as well.
Trying to come down once again. Here we go. Maybe we'll get filled here. It's getting late in the day, and I don't like entering too much later. It's a little before 2, so I'm still pretty comfortable with this because I'm just looking for a scalp. I am going to hold some runners here just in case. I'm going to scalp out on 8
Please
of
don't
these,
like thunder
hold
and
2
lightning.
of them as a runner.
You're alright, don't worry. You're okay.
Try to get a couple of points out of the runner or more.
You don't like it, Molly, do you?
Okay, we've got 3 overlapping bars, so this is definitely congestion, so a break lower here might make a great trap. Let's just see what happens here. If they're going to protect that line and hold that low right there or not. Sure looking like it.
No, it's still not in yet. He's still got his biota sat there.
Upper side, then I'll probably cancel this order. There we go. They're going to try it again. We're bouncing off our order. All right, we're filled.
Okay, he's in now, look. So watch where his stop goes.
Contracts right here.
Supposed to go 1 tick behind the signal bar. So that looks like 2 ticks to me.
Prices are trying to bounce again.
I can't believe he was going for 10 contracts.
Alright, that ended as a doji. Really trying to take it lower though.
So, signal bar should be there. 1 tick below the signal bar, which is where that is now. So it comes down.
Well, tell you what I may do. I may try.
Now he's bottled it and got trying to get out of it now. He's realised. So stop would have been there, below there. So it pushes down. It's where his stop would have been.
I don't like the fact that this broke lower. We're still holding here on the double so far with a double bottom, so it's still a good sign. But
Do you know what they are? Stopped him out. It would have been. Look, he survives with this. What we should do, I should film this, change the 3 things back and send it in and say, I took this trade, what do you think? If I change a few things, it's 13 years ago, so you probably forgot what it looks like, and I'll say, I took this trade, do you think it was a good one? And they'll probably send me back a great big email saying, you're bloody useless, and then I'll just mention that it's actually yours from 13 years ago. So look at that. Would have stopped him out clearly, and ended up going up, look.
Don't want to get greedy here.
Yeah, watch some of his older ones. They're quite interesting, so, but yeah. Wow, we're getting some claps of thunder in the background. My dogs are both shaking.
Still looking for a reversal right here.
I'm going to finish in a minute.
We had
It's
to break
10
the
past
trend
5.
line and 2 legs down to a new low.
So, judging by this, it's okay to counter trend trade. Nobody's perfect. The thing is, Max said he's been trading about 28 years, so he'd been trading 12 years when he took this trade. This is 13 years ago. No, but I just find it comical that it's interesting to see, you know, someone like Mac now we know successful and all that, to take a trade which he'd consider counter trend trading, and not only that, it moves up 2 points, comes back, triggers him, stops him out, or what it would have done, and then eventually he gets lucky and it kind of moves. So I just think it's comical just to watch it. I'm pretty sure if we looked at ourselves in the past doing a job that we do recently or now, we'd probably find it comical.
Sometimes your timing's off a little bit, and mine was obviously off a little bit, but we survived.
But yeah, you'd never take a trade like that now. It's quite. If I look back on some of mine, look at some of my charts, I've been saving my charts for 4 years. Sometimes I'll have a look and there's trades I'd never take. Exactly. See, if this was me, I'd be hunting through these and deleting these, I would know. But it works in the end. And then I think it comes out and gets his stop, I think. But yeah, I mean, you'd never go long there, would you? You'd never go long there.
All right, we're out. prices
But
haven't
look, it
kicked
came
through
down,
yet,
took
but we
his
did
stop
get
out,
filled
which
there
you'd
all the
expect
same.
it, and then ended
There
up
we
moving
go.
up.
Now we're at break even plus
But
one.
yeah, have a look when
Let's see
you're
if we can
bored
get our-
sometime. Have a look through some of his older videos. They're
Go for
interesting,
3
but it
points
just
here,
I
but
think
I'm
it takes him
thinking,
out now. I
we're
think
gonna go ahead and go for 3 points here on this. That'll be
triggers the ball bar. So
28.75.
we've
We'll see
had
if we
two
can
pushes
get it.
up
I probably should
effectively. I
go
think
ahead
it comes
take
and
2
takes his
points
stop
if
out
I
now.
can
But
get it, but
yeah, but
got this.
it's interesting. But yeah, it just goes to show. And Mac had been trading over 12 years at that time. So I got hope. So this is a really tough, miserable arse day today. So how long have we been going for now? 2 hours, 45 minutes. We got some thunder and lightning going on here. My dogs are shitting themselves, to be honest with you. They're starting to shake. So I'm going to go and give them a chew and see if I can't cheer them up. So not an easy day today. I did take a couple of trades. I'm up $100 or something like that on just the one account, but not a lot here. Anyone else playing the larger trend down? Not really. I'm playing the leg down and leg down. For me, there's if you look at the way Penguin trades, he does plot these bigger moves, and rightly so. If you were trading an hourly chart, you wouldn't be looking at just the day. You'd be looking at what's it been doing, and that to me, we push up towards the top, come down towards the bottom, push up towards the top, down towards the bottom, twice at the top. Law of averages said it's likely to get down here. Whether it does it by the end of the day or whether we have a little rally and maybe you know, if we continue these on, maybe it sort of meets this somewhere around about here. Who knows? But my guess is certainly at the moment I'm thinking more bearish, really. So for me, it looks like this move down, one attempt to go higher, a little bit of chop, a second attempt to go higher. When we push down, we try 3 more times, and each time we got lower and lower. So that would tell me we can't get to the tops. We're losing buyers. So my gut feeling is this is likely to, whether it goes up and has another go, but for me, this is likely to work down. Now, when you said bigger range, I've just noticed something. Do you mean this? You probably mean that, don't you? Sorry, I was thinking up there. So, yeah, that might not look too bad, actually. My apologies. I'm assuming that's what you meant. I was thinking right from the top. Right from the top. The trouble is, from me, there's such a big bit missing, so it doesn't look right. Not to me, anyway. It doesn't mean it isn't. To me, not at the moment. Because of this big kind of gap. So I don't know, really. It's hard to say. At the moment, it's just choppy, I think. But maybe something like that. If it has another go and touches here and that, but maybe. Well, we're having some claps out there now. So see how far this gets in. I don't think it'll last long. My gut feeling in 10 minutes we're going to be down below here. Unless there's buyers down here. We've had 2 legs down. We've had this channel with a break, 2 legs down. It's hard to tell, really. My gut feeling is overall, just at the moment, I think erring on the side of bearish, just maybe down to here. But there's no guarantees. I like to sort of say what I think and then see what happens. And it just kind of helps me understand, am I seeing the bigger picture? So the bigger picture for me at the moment is down and across and down. We see it all the time, down, across and down. So that's my thoughts. How long have we go for? 2 hours and 45 minutes. It's getting a bit dull here, isn't it? Let me just lift that a little bit. Let's light me up a little bit. There we go. So yeah, it's just really gone dull outside. Dogs are under my stubble, wrapped around my legs, panting. New people. Yeah, Kenny, how you doing, buddy? I've just noticed. Where you from? Kenny Kim, where you from? It's always nice to have some new faces. Some people sit in the background and fantastic. Where you from, buddy? I think majority of you guys. In fact, I was having a look on Southern California, I'm guessing, yeah. I'm guessing your weather's a bit nicer than mine. So, is this now where we drop out? I feel it might be. It's always nice to have some new faces. Been training Pats through. Excellent. Excellent. You're in the right place then. Dab with Penguin as well. Yeah, me too. They're kind of interlinked in a way. It's kind of like a slightly bigger version. I sort of look at Pats as microsurgery and Penguin as sort of general surgery. It's a bit bigger, but yeah, they both kind of overlap, don't they? It's hard to sort of follow one and not notice the other, if you like. Little Hammer, how you doing, buddy? Do you know there's something else I've just thought as well? We've got this move down with a break. We've had one attempt to go lower and a second attempt. There is a possibility this could push up. I don't think it will, but there's also something like that. Break, 2 attempts push lower. Now, the overall picture, now, I know Mac doesn't look at this, but I know Penguin does. And as far as I'm concerned, Penguin is a skilled trader, and he does look at this. And we know lately the overall is bullish, but we have just come off the tops. And the last time we come off the tops, we pushed down. Now, we went down a little bit stronger there. We got close to the tops there, but we worked down. But the fact that we've had that big push, followed by some sort of sideways movements, I still think by the end of the day we're going to come down to this area. But channel break, new low, 2 legs up, 2 attempts push high. It could do. I don't think it will. But my gut feeling is this is going to come down. I think within 10 minutes or so we're going to be below this area here. But don't pay much attention to me sometimes. I'm not trading today. Looks like I'm not missing now. You haven't, mate. It's been a horrible day today. It's just chopping up and down. But some days it is like this. But, I think it's a good exercise in patience. You've got to flex that patience muscle from time to time. And I've got to say, if I don't take a trade today and it looks like I'm not going to, I'm okay with that. Because I've sat here for 3 hours, patiently, and I haven't done anything stupid. I really can't see what I would consider a solid trade. And that's fine. Sometimes you don't get one, but if your patience gets the better and you get into a trade and take a loss, my next trade is going to make me profits. Your next trade then is going to cover what you've kind of lost. So I think sometimes you're better off to not take a trade than to take a bad one. So now I wouldn't short into the bottom here, but my gut feeling is we may get a second entry short and this may come down, but purely because it's ranging, I wouldn't short into the bottom, even though my gut feeling is telling me it's likely to break down. It just may have another go. But we're definitely losing momentum, in my opinion. But we did here, and then we bounced, chopped and pushed up higher. So I just missed that great fell breakout in the second entry. Yeah, so you know my feelings about longs. I'm useless at them, to be honest with you, Kirk. I'm not a range trader. Having said that, if we get a nice higher low, then those are the ones I have a go at. I tend to avoid unless it's obvious. That one for me was a bit too high. I like it when it grabs liquidity and then turns quickly, which tells me buyers are buying from below liquidity, and then I'll have a go at those, which is the case of that one. But this is telling me we're losing momentum, so you don't know whether it's going to trigger and then drop and take these. So I'm just maybe a bit paranoid. We had a higher low there. Okay, I'm just going to wait and see what happens here. Then I'm going to knock out on the end for the day. My wife's just turned up from work soaking wet. So I'm going to go and make her a cup of tea. But I think this is going to drop. See, on the range chart, there is a higher low, but it's triggered. We've pushed up to the EMA, come back. So my gut feeling is there's liquidity there and there. So we'll see. You never quite know. I'm not certain about anything. But we may just push up to that EMA and then drop. Could I call the Merc? And I don't know, they'd listen to me, would they? It'd be nice if you could just do that. Okay, see what happens here now. See, now I'm thinking we may trigger above this and then start to move down. We may have a go at the top. That, for me, is kind of finished in an interesting place. I'd like to see it trigger above there and then move out, but it may have another go at this line. Or I could be completely wrong. Yeah, it's not an easy day today at all, is it? I say this every other week. It's probably the worst day I've seen for a while, but we seem to be getting more and more of these. See, I prefer to break above there and get close to the top. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, folks. So it's nice to be back, actually. It just seemed odd yesterday, only doing 30 minutes. But I much prefer this. I think it works for me, streaming. I know it doesn't work for everybody, but I feel odd without it. As you guys know, I talk about what I'm seeing, and that's kind of, it helps me think clearly and understand what's going on. So it's just what works for me. So I'll leave you guys to it. If you count on trading, best of luck. Not an easy day today, but if you haven't taken a trade, give yourself a pat on the back. It's not always that easy to sit here for 3 hours and not take anything. But unfortunately, it happens sometimes. And if you can do it, it's a big plus. So I'll leave you guys to it. Best of luck. And stay safe. Have a great evening, and we'll catch up again same time tomorrow. Bye for now.